What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, woke up and we had some crazy thunderstorms, still pouring rain outside. So I figured, what better day to get some interior work done on the abandoned hatch. We got quite a few parts to really finish this off, so I'll show you what we got. I guess starting off over here, we have a steering wheel airbag and a steering wheel to go along with it. If you guys remember, take a peek. We have one of them NRG hubs with a grip rail steering wheel, and we're not going to be running that. We're going to go right back to OEM, so we have no airbag lights. It's 100% safe with the airbag, and we're good to go there. Then moving on, we have a stock A-pillar because he had the gauge, like the 3-gauge pillar in the car, and we're not going to be running that, so go back to stock there. And last but not least, actually probably the most important thing here is our IDoing head unit. I've been running these in, well, I have one in that hatch, and I freaking love it. I've had no issues with these things at all, and IDoing's been kind enough to support the channel from the very beginning, so huge shout out to IDoing. I highly recommend picking one of these up if you want to really change the interior of the car. It really fits right in that center piece, and yeah, really improves the interior quite a bit. Also improves the sound. It has wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Yeah, thing works great. So we'll get that installed. Obviously, because I have no engine or anything in the car, we're not gonna be able to power it on, but I can power it on in that car, which I've been running a little over a year now, I believe. Like I said, no issues. So we'll get that on, and I'll show you guys all the key features of the radio. I guess first things first, this is the easiest thing to put in. So let's get the camera set up, and we'll start piecing together the interior. Next item on the list, let's get our steering wheel and airbag installed. So what we gotta do, pull off that wheel, pull off the NRG hub behind there, and then hopefully the airbag wires are still intact and they didn't chop them off. Knowing them, they probably did, but yeah, all we can do is hope. Let's get that yanked off and we can get our new wheel and bag installed. So continuing the trend of the previous owners just not doing anything right, it appears that they just ripped the whole original clock spring out with all the wiring for the airbag. Kind of expected it, honestly, with the way everything else in this car has been going. But yeah, I've never really installed these NRG hubs before, but every time I look at them for this car, they're different than this one. So I think this is for a different model, WRX or STI, or maybe a completely different car in general, and they just tried to make it work. And in doing so, they ripped out the old clock spring. So we're gonna need a clock spring. I'm gonna take our little steering column cover off right now and see if the wiring to the clock spring is at least there. And then we can just order the clock spring with the airbag wires and wire it back up that way. So let's get that pulled off and cross our fingers that all the wiring to the clock spring is still there. So I pulled apart the clock spring and the steering wheel angle sensor, whatever that is behind it. Luckily, the wires are still there for that, so once we get a new one, we can just hook everything back up. I know that the steering wheel angle sensor thing has to be calibrated, especially if it's not at like 0 degrees to begin with. So hopefully I can find one on like a parts car or something. Just get the wheel sensor and the, whoa, it is pouring outside, and the clock spring, have the guy tape everything together and slap it on. Hopefully it'll be good. It's kind of a hit or miss thing, definitely, you know. I hate working with clock springs. I don't know why. Most of the time it works out fine, but yeah, I don't know. They bother me. But for now, I guess we're not gonna be able to do the steering wheel until we get a clock spring on there. So moving on to the IDoing head unit. This is my favorite part. I love installing these things. They're super easy, plug and play, and yeah, life is easy. So let's get this thing unboxed. I'll show you everything that's included, what we're gonna use, what we're not gonna use, and we'll get it installed in the car. So of course we get the head unit itself. This is the same thing we run in the other car. Nice big touchscreen, wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and it's plug and play with your stock wiring in the car, which is really, really nice. Now it does come with a lot of connectors if you run different accessories. So if you run like subwoofers, if you want 4G, if you want GPS, all that kind of stuff is included if you want to run it. Typically, all I really use this for is CarPlay, so I just plug in our stock connectors and wireless CarPlay works just fine. It also comes with a mic. I normally don't run these unless we really need to. On that car, we run just our stock mic that's in the car to begin with, and it works just fine. So probably do the same thing with this. We'll wire it up with what's in the back of the car, and that should be good to go. So we do need to transfer the vents out of this guy, slap them into the new IDoing. They're super simple, just a couple clips. Grab a little screwdriver, start popping these clips. That's it. I almost made the same mistake I made last time. If you guys remember the radio coming out of my dash when we hit our first hit at 800 horsepower. That's because I didn't have these little clips from the old one in the new IDoing. So obviously it just kind of sits in there without those and it would fall out. So make sure you take your old little faceplate and pull these little plastic clips off the back and then transfer them onto the new one. They just pop right off and slide onto that. You see the little tab up here? Slide on just like that. And it's as easy as that. We now have a brand new IDoing head unit in the Subaru, nice and secured. That thing ain't going nowhere. We can pull off this little screen protector. Ta-da! And it's ready to use. Once we have the motor back in the car with the battery and all that, the thing will power right up, and obviously we'll test it out, make sure everything works. But yeah, I've had really, really good luck with IDoing, to be 100% honest. If I didn't, I wouldn't run them in all the cars. We'll jump in the red hatch. I'll show you the head unit in there. It's really, really nice. The display on it, the resolution's better than any head unit I've had before, and it's lasted a year, no issues, and wireless CarPlay seems to work every time. So that's all I use it for, and it's really all that matters, I guess. It's pretty tight here, so I guess we'll go to the passenger side. So, power this thing on, turn the AC off, it'll come up with just, that's like the main screen of it. Like I said, I pretty much only use it for CarPlay. We'll kind of run through because I don't really go through a lot of this anyways. So you got your Bluetooth, you got your radio, navigation. That's all right on the main page. This is like all your apps. So, and it's very responsive. That's what I really like about this as well. So not only is the resolution really good, it's very, very responsive to the finger. YouTube, yeah, you can go on the internet with this thing. Pretty cool. So if you want to use CarPlay, just go to the little CarLink guy here. It's already connected to my phone, and that's it. So that's all I use. So you got Spotify, your phone, your messages, whatever you need, that's all there. But you can mess with the settings. There's 1.5 million settings in here that you can play with. Change color, change background, change, yeah, a lot of stuff. So I don't really mess with a lot of that because, like I said, all I use is the CarPlay. My screen on this is a little bit dusty. That's why it's not picking up some of my fingers, but for the most part, it does pretty well. I'll have to clean this off. Also, the steering wheel controls, if I hit the volume up here on the steering wheel, you can see works just as it should. The volume down, you got your skip track, which it works. It's just, obviously I'm not playing music right now. I don't want to get demonetized. To set those up, you would just go into the little control app, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. You set the buttons that you want to set, and that's it. Hit the little check mark and you're done, good to go. So I guess that pretty much wraps up what we can do in the interior today. Kind of sucks we couldn't get the steering wheel on and I have to order a clock spring, but it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know if I could expect anything different at this point. So huge shout out to IDoing for sending over another head unit and supporting the channel from the beginning. They're the OG supporters, and yeah, I can't thank them enough. If you want to pick up an IDoing head unit, I'll have it linked down in the description box below. Or just hit up IDoing with your specific car and they can help you get exactly what you want. That's what I kind of recommend to everyone. They do have a lot of options for a lot of different models, so I recommend just reaching out to them on Instagram or something and they can get you the exact model you need and get it to your house pretty quick. So yeah, super impressed. For the price point of these head units, they work really good. I haven't had an issue with one of them yet. If I did, I would tell you guys 100%. So yeah, I'm impressed. The last thing I want to do in this video is actually on the Duramax. I drive this thing every day and I just don't take care of it like I do with the cars. So time to actually put some work in on this. Hopefully we can get this done before the rain comes. As you can see, these tires, they're pretty sauced. These front ones are cupped because when I put those front upper control arms on, I was trying to find a shop to align these puppies and I drove about 50 miles, maybe more, probably more, without it aligned, and it cupped the front wheels pretty bad. So we definitely need new tires, but for now I want to get these front ones on the back because they're starting to really rattle the front end, and once it starts rattling a lot, everything in the front end starts to take a lot of wear. So I want to get these off, swap them with the backs. The backs are a whole lot better. Yeah, a whole lot better. So hopefully once we get those up front, the truck will drive a whole lot smoother and get as many miles out of these things as we can. Passenger side's all wrapped up. Now we just gotta do the driver's side and she'll be good for another 3 million miles. Now we do have a thunderstorm coming in, so hopefully we can get this done in time. And now the driver's side is completely done. As you can see, we got some solid meats up here. Back, not so much. But hopefully it'll do for a little while. I'm gonna wrap up this video right here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. See y'all later.